Hey, hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over to the Daily Mail, and this is about a hairstylist and yoga instructor stole millions from a mentally ill California doctor. I will list the article writer and all of the details in the description as I always do. But it says two people have been charged with stealing nearly $3 million from an ailing doctor by befriending him, moving into his house, and drugging him before attempting to steal another $20 million after his death, federal prosecutors said on Wednesday. Hairstylist Anthony Forbes, age 46, of Fresno, was arrested last week, while yoga instructor and actress Anna Moore, age 39, who lives in Mexico, was arrested Tuesday in Houston after a plane flight, according to a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California. Beginning in 2017, Forbes, who goes by the name Anton David, and Moore met an ophthalmologist who was a successful investor suffered from a mental illness that had greatly left him unable to care for himself, according to prosecutors. Within days of meeting the victim, Forbes and Moore moved into the victim's beachfront Malibu home, rent-free, and slowly took control of his life by by pretending to be his new best friend and caregivers, the statement said. Forbes told the victim's elderly mother, who lived in Florida, that they were caring for him and had the victim's best interests in mind, according to the indictment, which didn't identify the victim by name. Forbes later got the victim to sign over power of attorney and opened a bank accounts in the victim's names, according to the prosecutors. Oh, child. Forbes and Moore, who acted in a series of low-budget films, including the horror flick The Shattering and historical biop I'm Charlie Walker, began diverting the victim's money into their own bank accounts and isolated the victim from his family and longtime friends, and provided the victim with drugs, including marijuana and LSD, the U.S. Attorney's Office statement said. In the final days of his life, the two allegedly gave the physician LSD that caused his mental condition to deteriorate, prosecutors said. Forbes also allegedly changed the phone number and security settings on the physician's $60 million online brokerage account to access it and wire $2 million to his own bank account. By this time, the victim had evicted the pair from his home, but they had installed cameras in the beach house and watched his deteriorating condition from a luxury hotel, prosecutors said. Oh, that is evil. Oh my gosh. After the victim died in May of 2018 at the age of 57, Forbes and Moore moved back in his home and began taking out large amounts of money from his account, prosecutors said. The indictment didn't indicate how he died. Forbes and Moore each are charged with felonies, including conspiracy, identity theft, mail fraud, and money laundering. They could face decades in prison if convicted on all counts. Forbes pleaded not guilty to felony charges following his arrest, while Moore appeared in a Texas court but didn't enter a plea. Both will be extradited to California. In a Facebook post, Forbes insisted on "my soul" that I am innocent, adding that the charges brought against him were non-violent. The pair were indicted by a grand jury on December the 15th. It wasn't immediately clear whether they had attorneys to speak for them. And that is the end of the article right there. Pretty serious accusations leveled against these two people. Um, It's really crazy that people will go to these lengths to do that uh, for money. I mean, it's a certain level of person that has to exist for them to even, consider what they're being accused of. Clearly, you had a man who was mentally, not there. He really needed help, and instead of them actually helping this man, um, they just took advantage of him, drugged him up for what reason? Um, Definitely not a good thing because he had existing mental issues, mental battles that he was facing. And to give him LSD, that's totally not the drug that you would give a person that has mental issues. That only serves to, as they stated in the article, deteriorate his mental capacity even further. Um, Seems like before his death, he had some clarity in evicted them from the home, but then to find out, as the article stated, allegedly, they installed cameras in this person's home and watched them from a luxury suite. Pretty much speaks to their character, if allegedly, if it is true. Just disgusting behavior, and if they are, found guilty of the crimes that they are being accused of, I hope that they serve every day that's given to them, pretty much. But in the court of law, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So I will definitely keep you updated on this story and any other information that comes out about this story. It's just really sad and heartbreaking how people will take advantage of the less fortunate and vulnerable, mentally ill. It's never a pretty thing. It's never a good thing, especially when it's for monetary gain. And, you know, we'll just have to wait and see how this works out or pans out or what the conclusion will be to this story. But until then, please drop down and let me know how you feel about this. Are you familiar?